So, my people, I'm live again, and I have, I know my brother, the Great Commission, had done a video on this Hamza uh, thing, but I want to do a video just to show you the ignorance of Hamza. So, my brother did a video, and he revealed some that Hamza is a liar, but I want to also reveal further reveal that Hamza is a liar, and also to reveal the ignorance of Hamza and the shallow reasoning of this Muslim dawa donkey. So, when I call him a dawa donkey, I mean that is dawa is only for gullible people, foolish and gullible people, and for the people who don't know better. But calling him a donkey mean that he is literally stupid. And I want to show you something that I showed before, since we are here, and it is good that we show what kind of person Hamza is, just to show you his mindset and the way he reasons, that he reasons on the lowest level. So Hamza did a video, a TikTok video the other day, and in this TikTok video, Hamza is calling Christians mental cases, like they are mentally patient and all that, that's what he referred. And he wasn't even satisfied after making that video, and many people reveal his stupidity. He was not satisfied. He went and he make another video calling Christians mental. So I just want to show this video and just show you how Hamza showed that he is more mental than all the Christians that he is calling mental patient. Because do you lie to a mental patient? Do you lie to a mental patient? Do you argue with a mental patient? You will see where Hamza called the Christian at Speaker's Corner mental patient, but he's there arguing with them and lying to them. Lying to them. In nursing field, they tell you to live a person's reality. Sometimes, in order to calm a resident down or a patient down, you live their reality. But you don't go contrary to them and lie to them. You will see where Hamza literally lie to the Christians. So let's play this clip where he believed that it is okay for him to call the people that he is on a regular basis, if not a daily basis, on a very regular basis, he is on Speaker's Corner arguing with these people, literally arguing, sweating and arguing with these people in the cold, arguing with these people. But at the end of the day, these people are mental and he is not. So I just want to show this clip real fast of him calling Christians mental, and then show you how mental this guy is.
The Christians are mental in Speaker's Corner.
Mental? Have you seen?
Mental. I swear, it's like the local mental hospital has a day trip every Sunday, and the coach piles up, and Hakoon gets on it, and Acid gets on it, and Captain Bloodfire gets on it.
So you see, he called the Christian mental cases. But you will see him arguing in the videos that I'm going to show. You will see him arguing with the Christians, but these Christians are mental cases. What does that make this clown? If you sit here and you argue with mental people, what does it make you? If you're arguing with mental people and calling them liars and all kind of name, what does that make you? I Dragon, how are you, my sister? What does that make you? But we're going to go into some deep things today just to show you how uneducated this stupid clown is. And he doesn't even have the people to educate his stupid head, you know. See, at least in the Christian apologetic world, God bless you too, my sister. God bless you. We have people who are educated enough, or who have the love for the truth, so that they seek the truth to educate the people who don't know the truth. And we'll show you something. So the first thing I want to show you is where this Muslim Hamza is arguing with another with a Christian brother, and his argument is that of a little baby. Babies argue better than this clown. I have a 2-year-old son, and he argue better than this stupid clown, to be real with you. So let's get there and just show you what I am talking about. But I want to say, all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And Hamza is nothing but, Hamza's head is filled with nothing but stupidity and nonsense. So look, let me show you what we're talking about. Let's share this video. So the title of the video says, Bob versus Hamza, and Muhammad prophesied in the Bible and Quran, Speaker's Corner. And if you look at this right here, this is an old video. You see somebody comment on the video, and what does it say? 4 years ago. This is July 15, 2018. But I'm showing you how Hamza is so desperate that he went and find this video that is 4-year-old, and he decided to cut the video to show, to make it appear as if he give Bob the Builder a whooping, when literally he actually proved himself to be a liar and a clown, a stupid clown and a liar. So let's get into the video.
Understand my problem. The verse doesn't mention Jesus, does it?
No, but he was wounded.
Let me speak.
So they are talking about something in Isaiah, you know, and he says, I think it's Isaiah 53. He said the verse doesn't mention Jesus, does it? But the verse doesn't have to mention Jesus. Where in the Bible, according to this clown and his religion believe that Muhammad is prophesied in the Torah. Where does Muhammad's name mentioned in the Torah? Do you see how stupid the red donkey is? And the reason I call him the red donkey, look at his painted face. This is not natural. All this stuff right here is not natural. No man is red like this. What a clown. And you know what clowns do? Clowns paint their face. And they, you know, look at this man, is a clown. So this is a man born in Europe and trying to imitate Muhammad, because they say Muhammad used to paint his beard in a reddish color. So this clown paint his beard in a reddish color, trying to imitate Muhammad. What a clown. Do you see? What a clown, man. Maybe you drink too much coffee, I think. Watch. Listen to the clown. Muhammad, he says Jesus is not mentioned in it. Jesus is not mentioned in Isaiah 53. Why does Jesus have to be mentioned by name in the verse for the verse to be talking about him? When this clown, you will see that this clown believes that Muhammad is mentioned in Isaiah 42, but yet still the name Muhammad is not found in Isaiah 42. And the clown also believes that in Deuteronomy 18 is also talking about Muhammad, but Muhammad is not mentioned by name in any of these two Bible references that this clown is trying to attribute to Muhammad.
Can I speak?
He-
The Jews don't believe that's talking about Jesus.
And do you notice what this idiot do? This idiot said the Jews don't believe that this is talking about Jesus. Yes, they do. Today, modern Jews don't believe that it is talking about Jesus. But according to Islam, Jesus is the Messiah. You know, if you ask this clown if Jesus is the Messiah, this clown will tell you that Jesus is the Messiah. And Christianity believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And there are rabbis, when he says the Jews, he is actually speaking as if the Jews are monolithic, like all Jews believe the same thing. This is how stupid this clown is. Like all Jews believe the same thing. Literally, you know, to be truthful, there are Jews, Jewish literature, ancient, not modern Jewish literature, that believe that Isaiah 53 is actually speaking about the Messiah. They also believe that Isaiah 42 is speaking about the Messiah. There is ancient Jewish literature, not modern Jewish literature, that believe that Isaiah 53 and Isaiah 42 is talking about the Messiah. They may not say it's talking about Jesus, but what they believe is that it is talking about the Messiah. And just to show you that Hamza is a clown, to say no Jew believe that Isaiah 53 is talking about the Messiah, does that mean that it's not talking about the Messiah? According to his own Quran, I'm going to show you a question asked by someone who I believe that is a Muslim. Let me show you a question that is asked by someone that I believe is a Muslim. So we're going to show you a question that is asked by a person that I do believe is a Muslim. So let's look at this. So I will answer to your question in a minute. NH, whatever your name, Ok, whatever your name is. So let's look at something that this person asked, and we will see. So the person asked this question. Look at this. The person asked the question: in Islam, why did the Jews seek to kill Isa? So Isa is the fake Jesus, and the person is asking the question. This is Kura, and a person asks a question: in Islam, why did the Jews seek to kill Isa? And here is the Muslim response. Here is the Muslim response. I can tell you a little bit different view. Quran does not provide an answer. Why did Jews particularly kill Isa? But a non-Muslim professor and some modern Muslim scholars, with help of two classical scholars, have shed some light. So do you see what the person is saying? And this is a Muslim. This person called Maha Rizma is a Muslim. And this Maha Rizma is saying that the Quran doesn't shed light on why the Jews wanted to kill Isa. But he says there's scholars who, including a non-Muslim scholar, that shed light on it. So let's look at what the guy says. This is from the Quran. And their boast, behold, we have slain Isa, son of Mary, who claim, no, notice this is in parentheses. This is a lie right here. This is not what the Quran says. Who claim to be an apostle of God. There is nothing in the Quran that says who claim to be. And this is why you know the Quran is stupid, because these people have to put who claim to be, because no Jew would kill Jesus and then call Jesus, call Isa the Messiah and then kill him. Because if they believe that he is the Messiah, they would not kill him. And this is how stupid the Quran is. So, however, they, the Jew, did not slay him, neither did they crucify him, but it only seems to them as if it had happened, it had been. So, and verily those who conflict views therein are indeed confused, having no real knowledge thereof, and following mere conjecture, for of certainty, yes, they did not slay him. So you see, they did not kill him. Muslim scholar. So he says, Muslim scholar Yusuf Ali wrote in his commentary on the Quran, but some of the early Christian sect did not believe that Christ was killed on the cross. Conjecture, right here. The Basilidian believe that Basilidans believe that someone else was substitute for him. If you don't believe that Jesus was killed, you're not a Christian. You're not a Christian at all. The Gospel of St. Barnabas, there you go again. The Gospel of Barnabas, which is proven to be a late source, was written in the 1600s. This is how stupid these people are. Supported the theory of substitution on the cross. The Quran teaching is that Christ was not crucified nor killed by the Jews, notwithstanding certain apparent circumstances which produce the illusion in the minds of some. So do you see that if the Muslim scholar is saying that the Jews killed Jesus? So if the Jews killed Jesus, that means they disbelieve in Jesus. So why would they, according to Hamza asked the question, why would why don't no Jews believe that, even though he's bunching the Jews into one bundle, because we know that there are Jews who believe that Jesus is the Messiah, but he's bunching all the Jews into one bundle because we know there are Messianic Jews. But Hamza asked the question, why is it that the Jews don't believe that Jesus is, this is speaking about Jesus. The Jews don't believe a lot of things about Jesus. You know, the Jews don't believe a lot of things about Jesus. And the Quran is verifying that. The Jews, even though we know this is a fake Jesus, the Quran is verifying, in a sense, verifying that the Jews did not accept Jesus. The majority of the Quran actually verified that the majority of the Jews did not accept Jesus, because the Quran also verified that which we know is a fake Jesus, but the Quran, in a sense, verified that Jesus' disciples were Jews. You know, Jesus' disciples were Jews. So at the end of the day, why is Hamza asking, using the Jews as the yardstick to measure things? Why is it? So classical Muslim scholar Rasi review all different stories related to the crucifixion of Muslim source, crucifixion of Jesus from Muslim source, that contradict each other, and he conclude that only God knows what actually happened, but Jesus didn't die in the cross. Our scholar unanimously agree so. So he's, according to him, Ravi, Muslim scholar Ravi, verify that Jesus didn't die on the cross. That's a you know, this is how divided these Muslims are when it comes to Jesus if Jesus died on the cross or not. A Muslim, like about 2 days ago, used the apocalypse of Peter to say that Jesus didn't die. But if you read the apocalypse of Peter, it is actually saying that his physical body died and his spiritual body lived. And when we look at a lot of the interpretation of Surah 3 verse 55, we see where Muslims translate Surah 3 verse 55 as saying, I will cause thee to die and raise you up to me. So even though the Quranic verse says the Jews did not slay him, and neither did they crucify him, there are Muslims who believe that it is Allah who crucified him. But anyway, let's continue. So we see what's going on. Look at this. And this legend became so firmly established among the latter-day followers of Jesus that even his enemy, the Jews, began to believe it, albeit in derogatory sense of crucifixion. So I don't know, what does this have to do with, do Jews believe? Why do the Jews, because the question is, why the Jews seek to kill Jesus? That's what the person asks. Why was the Jews seeking to kill Jesus? Because they did not believe in him. That's the answer. That's the total answer. Look, listen to this other Muslim. Yaha, Adam Yaha. This is a Muslim. Exactly for the same reason why pagans wanted to destroy Muhammad, because the Jews, didn't believe in him, Jesus. Do you see that? So if the Jews didn't believe in Jesus, why do Hamza expect that the Jews would believe that Jesus is this Messiah spoken of in Isaiah 53? Why does he believe that? You know, but does the Jew believe that Isaiah 53 is speaking? Is there any Jew that believe that Isaiah 53 is speaking of the Messiah? Is there any Jew? Is there any Jews that believe that? Yes, there are Jews that believe that. We look into some. We're gonna look into some in a minute. We are going to look in some in a minute. Okay, and a matter of fact, let's look into some right now. That's just to show that Hamza is a clown and an uneducated donkey. So we're just gonna look into this. And he doesn't research. He doesn't do any research at all. What he do, he said Bart Ehrman. He said he studied Bart Ehrman. Look it up if you think I'm lying. Hamza said he studied Bart Ehrman to refute Christian. He studied Bart Ehrman. Hamza is a donkey, man. Hamza says to refute Christian, he studied Bart Ehrman. Can you imagine that? To refute Christian, you study Bart Ehrman. Oh boy. Okay. Look at this. Babylonian Talmud, Sanhedrin 98b. The rabbi says, his name is the leper scholar, and it is written, surely he had borne our grief and carried our sorrow, yet we esteem him a leper, smitten of God and afflicted. Who is this talking about? Who is this talking about? See, you know, a lot of these Muslims would tell you that the suffering servant is Israel. They don't believe that the suffering servant can be, even though God said Israel is his servant, God also say there in Isaiah 11, God also say that there's a righteous branch that will sprung from Jesse, and a king shall reign. So you see that God is talking about a specific person that is also a servant in Isaiah 11, and we see here what the rabbi say. His name is the leper scholar, as it is written, surely he had borne our grief and carried our sorrow, yet we did esteem him a leper, smitten of God and afflicted. Is this talking about one person, or is talking about many persons? Listen to this. Ruth Rabbah 5 verse 6. The fifth interpretation of Ruth 2 14 makes it refer to the Messiah. Come either approach the royal state and eat of the bread referred to as the bread of royalty. Dip thy morsel in vinegar, refer to his suffering, as it is said, but he was wounded because of our transgression. Do you see that? So there are Jews who believe that this is talking about the Messiah, wounded because of our transgression. Where do you think that came from? That come from Isaiah 53 verse 5. You know, and if you follow this, there's a whole slew of things. Yefeth ben Ali, and the Lord laid on him the iniquity of us all. The prophet does not by Avon mean iniquity, but punishment from iniquity, as in the passage. But be sure your sin will find you out. So you see all these, there is so many things. If you read through the whole thing, listen to this. Do you see this again? Midrash, from the Midrash, Lekesh, Tov. I'm not good at these words. And let Israel's kingdom be exalted in the days of the Messiah, of whom it is said, behold, my servant shall prosper. He will be high and exalted and exceedingly lofty. And this, where do you find this? Where do you find it? In the book of Isaiah. So he's talking about the Messiah. You see what we talk. We are sharing information that this clown doesn't know, because he asks where the Jews believe this is talking about Jesus. The Jews also even believe, let me share that with you. The Jews also even believe that Isaiah 42 is talking about the Messiah. Let me look at some of the comments in a minute. So let me show you something. The Jew also believe that Isaiah 42 is talking about the Messiah. Here we go. Midrash and Psalms 2 verse 9. Look what it says right here. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, my elect, in whom my soul delight. So you see what he says? In the decree of the prophet, it is written, behold, my servant shall prosper, he shall be exalted and lifted up, and shall be very high. Isaiah 52:13. And it is written, also written, behold my servant, whom I behold, mine elect, in whom my soul delight. Isaiah 42 verse 1. So who is this talking about? They believe that this is talking about the Messiah. Who will fulfill them from the Lord's Messiah. He said, who will fulfill them for the Lord's Messiah? Midrash and the Psalms. Do you see that? Midrash and the Psalms. Psalm 42, Psalms 43 verse 5. If you look at it, and thy truth being the Messiah, son of David, as it is written, the Lord shall sown by David, he shall not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set up thy throne. And look at it as it continue. And speak of the second Redeemer in the verse, behold my servant who I uphold, Isaiah. And do you see? It is saying that this person will come from David. This person will come from David. This is what he says here. And this person is the second Redeemer in the verse, behold my servant whom I uphold. So we are seeing that if you, and the all, and this is Targum Jonathan, and the all of this area here is talking about Isaiah 42. Behold my servant, the Messiah, whom I bring near, my chosen one, in whom my memora takes delight. And you know the word memora means, my memora means my word. And Jesus is the little called the word of God. Takes delight. I will place my Holy Spirit on him. So you see the Messiah. And it's talking about where? What is this talking about? This is talking about Psalms 42. Not Psalms 42, sorry. Isaiah 42. So you see that the red donkey is nothing but a clown. So let's get back to the red donkey. He asks question like, he's asking question that doesn't make sense. Literally doesn't make any sense. And we'll see as we continue that Hamza is nothing but a clown. Hamza is nothing but a stupid clown.
So here's the question to you.
Prophecy,
So why don't the Jews believe this?
You asked the brother.
So remember he asked, why don't the Jews believe this? But we show you that there are Jews that believe it. No Jews believe this is talking about Muhammad. No sensible Jews believe that. And there's the Midrash and all these things that I quoted from, they were written for the Jews. They were interpretation written by the Jewish rabbis and scholars. But what happened is this, not because the Jews, so many Jews rejected Jesus as the Messiah, that doesn't mean that what they wrote about the Messiah doesn't apply to Jesus. So the Targum and the Midrash, all these things that they wrote about, and the interpretation that they wrote and said this is talking about the Messiah, not because they refuse Jesus as the Messiah, that doesn't mean that what they say doesn't apply to Jesus.
We got
Where
Luke
in the Old
24.
Testament
It said, where is
this
the
is
name
what
of
heckling is
Jesus?
all about.
So show
So
me in the
I
name
got-
of
we
the
got
Quran.
Nick-
Show
I
me
know
in
it's
the
lies
Quran.
by hecklers.
And do you notice that Bob is asking a logical question? The clown is asking where in the Old Testament, where in the book of Isaiah the name Jesus is mentioned, and Bob is asking him where in the Old Testament, because these clowns believe that Muhammad is prophesied in the Torah. So Bob is asking them, and also in the Injil. Bob is asking him where in the Old Testament and the New Testament is Muhammad's name mentioned.
Where it says Muhammad is prophesied in the Bible. Hamza,
Ask me straw man question.
And do you notice he's not answering? Then he said, you're asking me strawman question. Islam is a religion that take away your ability to reason, take away your brain. And the Muslims that actually still have any ability to reason, guess what? They are the ones who are telling you that there's holes in the narrative and are telling you stuff like there's this guy I can't remember of a debate with Jake the Muslim meta retard, and actually tell meta retard that he cannot go against the Christian Trinity because there are things that is not understandable. You cannot understand everything about God. You know, so you see, those are the people who continue to think because they're not totally delve into the dumbness of Islam. They're not totally gone, but this clown is gone.
I asked you a direct question, not a straw man question.
The logical fallacy, mate.
My claim
fallacy,
was
mate.
never based on you as a person. It is based upon the arguments made by the Dawah team week in, week out at Speaker's Corner.
So Bob asks a question, you know, where is Muhammad found in the Torah and in the Old and the New Testament? Something, where is the name of Muhammad found in the Old and the New Testament? And he's saying that this is a strawman question, something like that. Bob asks. He's saying that that's a strawman question. You know, how is it a strawman question? Bob is not asking the question directly to him. Notice Bob clear up himself. He said, I'm not asking the question directly to you. I'm asking the question to that the Muslim Dawah team is preaching every day at Speaker's Corner, day in, day out at Speaker's Corner. That's what he says.
Stop running from the question. And if you want to be in, tag in.
And then this clown here, what's his name? Ashim is the stupidest clown. He's like a skirt tail. A skirt tail go wherever a woman go. If a woman is wearing a dress or a skirt, the tail of the skirt goes wherever the dress goes. And Hamza is like the skirt, and this clown is like the tail of the skirt, following behind Hamza. Ad amanim, how is it ad amanim? He's asking you a logical question. You know, why is it? And to be real with you, Hamza, the question goes for Hamza because Hamza have been doing the same thing. When they ask Hamza, where is Muhammad found in the Bible? They didn't ask him, where did Muhammad found in the Tanakh? Inside the Bible, you have the Old and the New Testament. That's what is inside the Bible. Inside the Bible, you have what is classified as the Old and the New Testament. So if somebody asks you the question, where is Muhammad found in the Bible? And you said Isaiah 42, or you said Deuteronomy 18, then you are saying that Muhammad is found in the Old Testament. In the Bible, the Tanakh is classified as the Old Testament. Isn't that true?
Stop interrupting.
And now, do you remember Hamza saying that Bob, he called Bob by name, he called Atun, he called Kate, he called all these people, and said they are mental cases. Do you remember I played that at the beginning? This clown said these people are mental cases. And from what you are watching now, who sounds like the more of a mental case as far as logic goes? The man asks a clear question, and all that you can hear, had hominem, fallacy, whatever, straw man.
For the fifth time, where in the Quran does it say Muhammad is spoken of in the Old or New Testament?
That's the question he asks. Where in the Quran it says that Muhammad is spoken of in the Old or New Testament? Where in the Quran? And you're gonna listen to Hamza lying. Hamza is literally going to lie, because that's what Hamza does.
No, listen.
Whether you choose to accept it or not, that's your
Thank you, Paul. But
opinion,
listen, but Paul,
right?
but Paul.
And whether the Jews
But
who
understand my
choose to
problem.
accept
But
it or
understand
not.
my problem. The verse doesn't mention Jesus, does it?
No, but he
Right,
was
but-
wounded.
Let me speak.
He
Can I speak? Look. The Jews don't believe that's talking about Jesus.
Do you notice how this clown generalized and say the Jews doesn't believe that this is talking about Jesus? But I just show you that there were Jews who actually wrote it in their books of interpretation that this is talking about the Messiah. Even though they don't see Jesus as the Messiah, they say this is talking about the Messiah. Does this clown Hamza believe that Jesus is the Messiah? Yes, he does. This is just showing you how unintelligent this clown is. This clown is an unintelligent buffoon and running around telling people that he's ready to debate everybody. And if you notice, when he get a chance to talk to Bob the Builder, how instead of reasoning with the man, he's fallacy, straw man, and his curtail shouting ad hominem. Do you see these craziness? Do you see these craziness? Why? Because they are not ready to have intelligent conversation. The only time this clown can sit down and have a conversation is when he is controlling the button of kicking you out or talking over you and muting you and talking over you and his podcast. And when he have 4 or 5 people on his podcast that he can back him up when he talk his stupidity. But there's a video of him saying that he's ready to crush Christians in a debate. I actually make a video from that sometimes back, where the clown says he's ready to crush Christian in a debate. Ready to crush what? What kind of Christian can this clown crush? What kind of Christian can this clown crush? Can he crush an apologist who is debating him in a formal debate with the topic given months before, or even weeks before, or even days before the debate? No, he can't. Because if a Christian do their research, they destroy this clown's argument in a heartbeat.
Okay.
So here's
At
the
the
question
end
to
of
you.
this prophecy,
So why don't the Jews believe this?
And he constantly asking the same question. Why don't the Jews believe this? As if the Jews are monolithic, meaning that the Jews all believe the same thing. There are Messianic Jews who believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And there are Jews who weren't Messianic of old who believe this was talking about the Messiah, as I read to you and show you, where these Jews believe that this was talking about the Messiah. Do you see that? Only an unlearned person would ask a question like that. Only an unlearned person would ask, is this talking about why the Jews don't believe this? What Jews are you talking about? What Jews are you talking about? What Jews? You know, when you make this claim, which of the Jews are you talking about? This is just showing you how unintelligent the clown is. Very unintelligent clown. You see where I read from the Babylonian Talmud, Sanhedrin 98b, that the rabbi said his name is the leper scholar, as it is written, surely he had borne our grief and carried our sorrow, yet we did esteem him as a leper, smitten of God and afflicted. And this, and then we go to Ruth Rabbah 5.6, and we see where it says that and dip thy morsel in vinegar, refer to his suffering, as it is said, but he was wounded for our transgression. And at the top it says the fifth interpretation of Ruth 2 verse 14 makes it refer to the Messiah. So do you see that? What is this clown learning from? What is this clown learning from? You could go through this on this website. It is called Jews for Jesus, and you could go and see all the and you just all you gotta do is Jews for Jesus, Isaiah 53, and you will see so many citations from Jewish sources that there were Jews who believe that Isaiah 53 is talking about the Messiah. This clown Hamza believed that Jesus is the Messiah, and I also believe that Jesus is the Messiah, even though I do not incline to his version of Jesus. I do believe that Jesus is the Messiah, and we see that there were rabbinic and Jewish sources that believe that Isaiah 53 is talking about the Messiah. And we already quote for you where they also believe that Isaiah 42 is talking about the Messiah. So I don't know what is wrong with this clown.
That's up to them. Some do. Some do.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of born again Jews.
And then they said to him, some do. And he said, really? Like, you don't know that there are Jews who believe that Jesus is the Messiah?
Yeah, but they're not Jews anymore, they're not.
But listen to him. Do you see he was so surprised when he heard this? Look. And look at his curtail. His curtail is just sitting there. Look at this.
I don't believe that's talking about Jesus.
Okay.
So here's
At
the
the
question
end
to
of
you.
this prophecy,
Why don't the Jews believe this?
that's up to them. Some do. Some do.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of born again Jews.
Yeah, but they're not Jews anymore, they're not.
Do you notice what the question he asks? But they are not Jews anymore. So if a Jew is born again, he's not a Jew anymore. But in his Quran, the Jews that rejected Jesus is still Jews. Do you see how clownish this idiot is? This guy is such an idiot. So the Quran said the Jews rejected Jesus. The Jews boast that they killed Jesus. The Jews rejected Jesus. The Jews rejected Moses. Do you see? But they are still Jews. So when the guy said there are Jews who believe this is talking about Jesus, he said, really? As if he didn't know. As if he didn't know. And then he said, they're not Jews. I'm paraphrasing him. So they're not Jews again, are they?
That's what they're saying.
What we call them, they're Christians anyway.
They are Messianic Jews. Christian or Messianic Jews. That's what they are. This clown I've never heard in 2018. This clown I've never heard of Messianic Jews. What an illiterate clown, man. What a clown. Do you see the donkeyness? Oh, do you see the donkeyness of these people, man? The donkeyness of Hamza. Hamza Mayat the donkey. Hamza Mayat is nothing but a donkey. He is a donkey boy. Hamza Mayat is nothing but a donkey. A foolish little donkey boy. Okay. Where is my... I'm not seeing it at all. What did I do? What did I do? I've done this before. Okay, so Hamza Mayat is nothing but a donkey, man. So Hamza... Oh, wow. What is this going on here?
Once you become a Christian, you're a Christian.
No,
Whether you're a Jew or...
Jews don't believe this is talking about Jesus. And it's
As
their
a
book.
majority. They've done.
Right.
Right?
It's their book in their language.
Yeah, but then it says to
Yes. Yes. There's an echo still. There's an echo still going on.
Whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? Whoever has believed this report, they choose not to, but there's some who do.
No, but here's my question to you.
But that's not Judaism. They're following other.
Sorry?
You're talking about the ones who became Christians.
Yeah.
So you're talking about when you say Jews, you're not talking about the faith of Judaism.
He's on your side.
Okay,
mate.
because the mainstream Jews they rejected. Bro, you're in Speaker's Corner. If you don't like Shamras, you're in the wrong place.
If they're using that as a standard, all the prophecies in the Old Testament that they say are talking about Muhammad, the Jews don't believe they're talking about Muhammad. So they're creating a double standard. One standard for Christians and a different standard for Muslims.
You talk about prophecy. Let's look at the prophecy.
We're going
This
from
is-
topic to topic to
No,
topic.
no,
yeah?
because this is still
This is
about
what
the
me and you
Messiah.
used to do in the markets. You know, this is what me and you used to do in the markets.
This bro's not going to stop.
No. I said it very, very simply to you. I don't believe the Bible's a reliable source
But
of
then that's
information.
your opinion.
Right.
That
Don't
you can
hold
have
me
your
to it.
opinion. You don't have to. I'm
Well,
not
why
holding
are
you
you
to
trying
it.
to?
I'm not holding
You're
you
asking me
to
to
it.
explain verses.
No, I'm not.
What?
No.
You did.
No, I simply said that you don't worship the God of Abraham.
I believe I do.
God of Abraham is one, not three in one.
Okay. Then you have to believe in the statutes that he has set forth in order to worship him.
Okay, what's Abraham?
Oh man, what is going on? Oh boy, I am echoing all over the place. I don't know what I did. I think I got too much. I entered the studio too many times. So I got too much people in this studio. Too much people in the studio. That's echoing too much. That too much version of me. Oh boy.
What's Abraham a Jew?
Okay. Jesus said this, right?
No, you ask questions. You need to
Jesus-
respond to
was
it. Bro.
Jesus Jewish?
Yes. I'm still hearing the echo.
Was Jesus Jewish?
Yeah.
By faith or by race?
By race or by faith? You
I'm
tell me.
asking you. If it's by faith, then you're telling me you're a Christian and he's a Jew. So your God was a Jew.
Still echoing. Is it? Yeah, still echoing. I don't know what is to solve this problem. How to solve the problem? How to solve the problem? Important. Your audio is also removed. Oh boy. Man, this was gonna be real revealing, man. Real revealing. Real revealing. I have no way of correcting this. I'm trying to get out and get back in, but it won't work that way. Do you see how stupid Hamza is? Hamza says, I wouldn't say that she is Jewish. Her mother was a Levite. You look into the Quran. What does it mean to be Jewish? Does it mean in the Quran, does it differentiate between tribes? Does the Quran differentiate between tribes? No, the Quran does not. The Quran doesn't differentiate between tribes. The Quran nowhere differentiate between tribes. The Quran call all the people of Israel Jews. all the people of Israel. All the people of Israel. This echo is driving me nuts. The echo is driving me off the wall, man. But it is hard to remove this echo. Man. The clown said it's true. The Jews is one tribe of Israel, but his Quran doesn't teach that. According to the Quran, the Jews are the Israelites. Because he says the Jew boasted that they killed Isa, son of Miriam, the Messiah, the messenger of Allah. So was it Judah who killed him? Was it Judah who was boasting that they killed him? And the Quran says, do you see? The guy have no sense whatsoever. He's just a clown. If I could just get rid of this echo, man. Anyone know how to get rid of this echo? So what we are seeing whatsoever. This Muslim have no sense whatsoever. Wow. One of the clown says she was a Levi, and the other one says she was not a direct descendant of Abraham. How could she be a Levi if she was not a direct descendant of Abraham? Man, we would be having fun with this video if it wasn't for the echo, man. Do you see how much of a clown this donkey is? The skirt tail is a clown. One of the skirt says she was a Levi, but the skirt tail says she was not a direct descendant of Abraham. How could she be a Levi when a Levi is the son of Abraham's grandson? Jacob's son was called Levi, and the Levites are descendant of Jacob's son. And Jacob is the grandson of Abraham. Abraham have a son who called Isaac, who have two sons, Esau and Jacob, and Levi is a great-grandson of Abraham and a son of Jacob. Do you see how stupid these headless donkeys are? But they are the one giving dawah to Christians. Do you see the stupidity of these Egyptian goats? Oh, you don't hear an echo. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I've been trying to fix something that doesn't have an echo. Thank you so much, my brother Larry. God bless you, man. And these questions are good questions. My brother, these questions are good questions. How is it that these clowns are called dawahs, giving dawahs, when they know nothing about what they are giving dawahs about? The clown, Hamza, says Levi, say Mary was a Levite. And who is a Levite? A Levite is a great-grandson of Abraham, because a Levite, Levi, was one of the son of Abraham's grandson, Jacob, who is called Israel. And when they ask Ashim, Hamza's curtail, if Mary was a descendant, a direct descendant of Abraham, he said no, but the clown Hamza say that Mary is a Levite. How can you be a Levite if you are not a descendant of Abraham? Yeah. What a stupid donkeys. Do you notice what he says now? The Jewish people. So when he's talking about the Jewish people, is he talking about one tribe of the Jews, or are you talking about all the Jews? If you're going to use the term the Jewish people, but then you say the Jews is only a tribe, how does that make sense? The Jewish people, are you including the 12 tribe of Israel, or are you just speaking about one tribe of Israel? But do you see how stupid this clown is? And that's not true, that all men are in the genealogy. Let me show you something. Uneducated donkeys, man. Let me show you. I hope I can find it. I hope I can find the verse. I maybe can find it elsewhere. Let me make sure that I... Genealogy, this is a lie that these people have been telling. That genealogy is... Here it is. This is why when you find information, we need to keep it, just so we can refute these stupid donkeys. Look at this, my friends. And I would say God bless Sam Shamon for this. I think he was the one, either D.L. Tate or Sam Shamon, that shows me this. This is it. 1 Chronicle 2, verse 34 to 41. Now, Shishan has no sons, but daughters. And Shishan have a servant, an Egyptian, whose name was Jara. And Shishan gave his daughter to Jara, his servant, to wife. And she bare him Ateh. And notice what happened now. And Ateh begot Nathan, and Nathan begot Zabad, or Zabad, and Zabad begot Ephal, and Ephal begot Obed, and Obed begot Jeru, and Jeru begot Isaiah, and Isaiah begot Elez, and Elez begot Elisha, and Elisha begot Sisame, and Sisame begot Shalom, and Shalom begot Jechemiah, and Jechemiah begot, do you see that? From the woman. From the woman. So the man didn't have any son, but his lineage came from his daughter. Do you see that these guys are clowns, man? Big-headed donkey clowns. Do you see that? Hamza is a clown. I'm telling you straight. Hamza is a clown, and his curtail is worse of a clown than him. I'm telling you, man. So watch here. Let's get back to the clown. So you see that nothing the clowns say makes sense.
Even if God was to come down here and tell you that Jesus Christ is my son,
You're not answering any of the questions.
Right?
You just go
won't
to another
believe it.
topic every
You
time.
won't believe it.
So because the Christian cannot answer his question, he believes that he have a point. He doesn't have a point. He does not have a point at all.
Is it the
Can I ask you a simple
Look,
question? Is the two genealogies of Jesus given in the Bible, is it all male or female?
They're all male.
All male.
I'm echoing again. Do you guys hear that echo? Anyone hear the echo?
Did Jesus have a male biological father?
No.
So he's asking if Jesus have a male biological father. But does Jesus have to have a male biological father in order to be a Jew? No, he don't. No, he does not. He does not have to have a male biological. Thank you again, Larry. Biological father. He does not. At all. This is like saying that a Jewish woman is not a Jew because her mother is Jewish and her father a person is not a Jew because their mother is Jewish. That's not true. You could choose which of you want to gravitate towards. You could, like, for example, if I was Nigerian, my father was Nigerian and my mother was Jamaican, I could choose which of them I want to be. This is how it is. You know, as I show you from the Bible verse that this man have no sons, but his lineage was continued through his daughter because he gave his daughter a husband to continue his lineage. And this is found in First Chronicle 2, verse 34 to 41. These Muslims, they know nothing about the Bible. Nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. They just believe they know.
End of story.
So where does the genealogy of Jesus come from then?
Calm down, man.
And to show you how God is wise, God makes sure that Jesus have a genealogy through his mother and one through his adopted father, Joseph. Because even Jesus is born by a Jewish mother without a father, a biological father. But God makes sure that he have a Jewish father, Joseph, an adopted Jewish father. And through that adopted Jewish father, you could get your genealogy. This is how important adaptation is. When you adopt a child, adoption, not adaptation, adoption is when you adopt a child, it is very important. But Muhammad didn't see that. Muhammad believed that it was okay to have sex with his adopted son's wife by taking the man's wife. But adopted son is very, very important. An adopted son can be seen as your biological child by God that carry on your lineage. Now, how do we know that? Let me show you how. Have you ever heard the story of, I think his name is Onan, where one brother died, and according to the custom is that when your brother died, you should marry your brother's wife, or go into your brother's wife and give your brother's wife a son in your brother's name. So the son would not be in your name, but that son would be in your brother's name. How is that so? By adaptation. Adoption, sorry. I keep saying adaptation. By adoption. And your brother's wife would raise up that son to your brother, not to you. That child would not be your son, even though he is your biological son. He would carry on the name of your brother. It would be that it would be said that, say your brother's name is John and he died, he would be saying that John begot James and James begot, even though James is not John's biological son. Do you see? This is what the Bible is all about. So for the clown to make that a child have to have a biological father that is a Jew, in order to be a Jew, that's a lie. Where does the Quran teach that? Where does the Quran says that a child, a Jewish child, have to have a biological father? Did Isa have a biological father? Was he regarded as a Jew? Was he not sent to his own people? What a clown, man. Was he not a Jew? According to the Quran, he was sent to his own people. So if he was sent to his own people, if he born without a father, according to this clown, he should not have anybody called his people. Because what? He would not be a part of any nation at all. And according to these clowns, Isa was a normal man. So if Isa had a child, would Isa's child be a Jew? Because since Isa have no lineage, would his child be a Jew? What a clown, man.
Calm down.
I'm calm, don't worry.
down.
I'm
Yeah?
calm. Are you going to answer the question? Are you going to
What?
answer the question?
What?
If the Jewish people,
Yeah.
that Jewishness is traced, the tribe is traced
Yeah.
through the men, and Jesus did not have a male biological father, then how would
One
you
of
trace
the
his...
prophecy, I've been Luke or the Matthew one,
Are you going to answer
is
the
of
question?
Mary.
Are you going to answer the
Right?
question?
What's up?
If the tribe of any Jewish lineage is traced from the male members, i.e. the biological father,
Yeah.
and wait, listen to the question. Well, how can you
Okay,
then say
Hakeem.
Jesus, who did not have a biological father, is descendant from David? How?
Right. He, through Mary,
Did you not hear the
is
question?
a descendant.
So do you see how stupid he is? So Mary is not a descendant. Mary cannot be a descendant of David because she's a woman. Where does the Bible teach that stupidity? That Mary cannot be a descendant of David because she's a woman. Where is it? Where is it written like that? Nowhere is it written like that. Nowhere at all is it written that a woman cannot be a descendant of David because she's a woman. If you look in the book of Genesis, what does it see in the book of Genesis? God said to the serpent, he says, the woman's seed shall bruise your heel. The woman's seed. And who was that woman that she was talking about? That God was talking about? The woman is Eve. That means a woman can have descendant. Isn't that what God says? God said, I shall put enmity. Let me see if I can find it. I shall put enmity. Right, there it is. So when we look at it, let me put gateway. Gateway. Better that way. So in Bible Gateway, here is God speaking to the serpent, the devil. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. Descendant and offspring is the same thing. Same Jewish word translated to mean offspring is the same Jewish word translated to mean descendant, which is zera. The word zera, the Hebrew word zera, is translated to mean offspring, and it's also translated to mean seed, descendant. So the woman have a descendant, and God is saying that I will put enmity between your offspring and the woman's offspring. So a woman can be the continuation of a man's seed. A woman can be the continuation of a man's seed. And if you notice it, but what this clown is conflating is that in the Jewish custom, it is a man who inherits the birthright and inherits what the man possess. And this is why when this man didn't have any son, what's his name? Shishan, didn't didn't have any son, but he have daughters. In order for to transfer his birthright, he had a servant, an Egyptian, who he gave to his daughter as a husband, and she bare to him male offspring. So now he have male offspring. Because what? When notice Jesus is called the son of David. So if you give your daughter to a man, and that man and your daughter have a male child, then that male child become your son. Then that male child become your son biologically. Let me show you how biologically, because you are a grandson. He is a grandson. In the Bible, never use the word grandfather or great-grandfather. It used the word father. Abraham is the father of the Israelites. Likewise, Abraham is the father of the Ishmaelites. Do you see that? So this clown, he don't know what he's talking about. A man have a woman child, but doesn't have any son at all. In order for him to have a son, according to the Jewish custom, all he got to do is give his daughter to a man, and then when sons are born to his daughter and that man, these sons belong to him. Biologically too. Because how is it biologically? Because biologically the daughter belongs to him. And biologically the daughter contribute to these grandsons biologically. But the Bible don't use the term grandson and grandfather. It used the term son and father. Do you see how much of clown these idiots are? They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Will you be you
ask a question.
right?
When you need it.
You're
Stop hackling.
I need to go away, right, and get this answer.
That's fine.
I'll give you.
We accept that as an answer.
I'll give you my email address,
No, you
right?
can come back
And
and-
you can email me.
You can come back as speaker's corner. Are you London?
Do you know it? He won't even let the guy talk. Hamza's curtail won't even let the guy talk. Do you see that? Won't even let the guy talk. But I want you guys to see something. When Bob was talking to Hamza, this is the important part. When Bob started talking to Hamza, where Hamza is a liar. I want to see that part. When Bob started talking to Hamza, just to show you that Hamza is nothing but a lying clown.
This is Smith's hackling team.
Assalamu alaikum. If you feel restricted or unfulfilled in your job, then you're wasting your time if you think things are
Hackling team. Do you want to answer?
Hashim
You
asked
said
for proof text from the Bible,
You're going to show me from the New Testament.
but yet can't
Are
show
you
any
going to show
proof
me
text in
the
his
Trinity
Quran
in
for
the
his
New
beliefs.
Testament? Yeah.
Hamza
Show me.
says he wants to see
One.
the name of
One.
Jesus in
What
the
do you
Old
want?
Testament.
And all I'm hearing on my side is a bunch of echo on my side. But right. So my brother is saying Jesus Christ had no father. He have no earthly father. So how is he not a Jew because he have no earthly father? You know, I agree with you that Jesus had no father. But how is he not a Jew because he have no father? Your father is not what make you a Jew. This is a lie that have been told by uneducated people. As I show you that a man's offspring can be his grandchildren. A man's offspring can be considered his grandchildren, because in Genesis 28 verse 14, God told Jacob, your seed, which means your offspring, by your seed, which means your offspring, shall all the nation of the earth be blessed, mean your descendant. Was it really his immediate descendant, like his son? Like this was talking about his son, like Benjamin, Levi, Judah? No, it was talking about a distant offspring. A distant offspring. So you are hearing the echo. Is it?
But yet he can't show me in the Quran where the name of Muhammad is supposed supposed to be prophesied
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the Bible.
He's a heckler. He's a heckler.
We're going to deal with both of them. Let's do
Hamza,
we'll deal with both of you.
talk with me.
We'll deal with both of you.
Talk with
We'll
me.
deal with both of you.
Okay, so talk with me now.
We'll deal with both of you.
Talk with me.
Okay, go on.
So,
First of all, don't shout at me.
okay.
First thing. Second thing.
Second thing.
Listen,
Okay, go on.
if this geezer points and laughs, yeah, we're walking away.
That's fine. If you want to walk away, that's it.
Christian missionary. You can't control your Christian missionary.
No, I'm not here to control.
Oh, you're not?
Secondly,
So don't cry. So
why are you pointing?
Get involved.
Well, you're complaining about him pointing, and now he's pointing. You're pointing, but he can't point.
Don't cry when
Double
Muslims get involved,
standards,
okay?
Hamza.
Okay?
Double
Don't cry when
standards.
Muslims get involved.
So,
yeah?
I agree.
All right.
Let's do 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
No.
Right. Are you scared of letting other people speak?
Shall I tell you what?
Are you scared of letting other
Shall I tell you
people
what?
speak?
Shall I explain why?
Go on.
All right. So you're saying I don't want to do 5 minutes, because I'm afraid to let you speak?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
No,
what I'm saying.
the reason I don't do 5 minutes, is because you'll ignore everything I say.
Exactly.
You'll shotgun me with all sorts of nonsense.
Absolutely.
I'll respond to one. Point, and then you'll tell me the points I didn't respond to. I don't fall for your garbage.
Okay. So let me ask you this
5
question.
minutes.
Let me ask you this question. You demanded of the Christian brother just then.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Did
I
I?
heard you. Yes, you
Well, you
did.
heard wrong.
Yes, you did.
You heard wrong.
What you demanded?
You heard wrong.
What you said was
You heard wrong.
that the name of Jesus wasn't in the Old Testament.
1 second, let's go in the
prophecy.
shade.
Yeah?
Get away with a great deal at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With new cars arriving daily, now's the time to...
They want to know about Islam.
It's not clear enough.
No, because we don't make any clear.
That's what I mean.
So in Judaism, we have the tradition that actually the Torah can be interpreted. Its national interpretation almost is defined by the consensus of the rabbis and the community. It's too long a process to explain in a few minutes. But I understand that you can't read the Old Testament in isolation. If you do, you have like what the Christians have in maybe America, where you have like dinosaur museums and all kinds of.
But here's the thing: after the final messenger of God, there's no need for me to go to any previous scripture.
After okay, that's working on the assumption that it is the final messenger of God.
Obviously.
Which, obviously, as Jews, we don't believe.
Well, you don't believe in Jesus, do you?
No, but there's nothing wrong with that. Just say there's nothing wrong with you believing in Muhammad.
No. There's a difference.
No, because you look really smugly when you said that, and I'm not looking smugly.
No.
Okay, sorry.
No, what I'm saying is, you deny the Quran doesn't surprise me because you deny Jesus. He's talking about the step. Because the Quran speaks about Jesus anyway. So of course you need to deny the Quran because you rejected Jesus anyway. Yeah. So here's the difference. You reject Jesus. Yeah. The Christians mock and question you for rejecting Jesus. Yeah. And yet the Christians do exactly the same thing to Muhammad. So. Now, the difference between Muslims is we accept all of the messengers of God.
But you don't, because you believe that those messages have been corrupt.
No, we accept the messengers.
No, okay, so what I'm saying is,
No,
because you kind of climbed up onto your pedestal and said, and you said, just I just want to be clear, because maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I.
Only one I've heard. Is there any very strong one?
Deuteronomy 18:18?
No, that's a weak one. But I'm not even going to get into that. But also, doesn't the Quran, I don't know for a fact because I haven't read the Quran like that, doesn't the Quran say that, what's called that, Muhammad has to, Muhammad's in the Bible?
Sorry?
Is Muhammad in the Bible?
Yes.
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
Isaiah 46.
That's the only one I've heard. Is there any
very strong one?
Deuteronomy 18:18?
Mm.
go in the shade. Let's go in the shade.
Let's go in the shade. I agree. Let's go in the shade.
Honestly, burning out.
One person.
Let's go in their shades.
Ready, yeah?
Ginger power.
Honestly, mate, can you stop shouting? It doesn't get your point across. It's true, though, isn't it? What's that?
Don't be scared.
Shouting, mate. It doesn't get your point.
Well, this is what they do, isn't it? They heckle.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is Christianity, yeah? Making noise.
So me and you will take on Jason and Joker, yeah? Yeah,
So-
one second.
So Hamza doesn't like to be pointed at, but he does want to start throwing out ad hominems and derogatory comments like
No.
Joe.
Let us say that. Let us say that.
So,
I said, no.
Hamza,
Right, you're going to start
my
misquoting me.
question,
No,
my
answering your
question
right
to
now.
you, Hamza.
I'm answering your question
My
right now.
question to
You
Hamza.
said- I said to you,
My
I don't want to have us on the
question to
crowd, mate.
Hamza.
That's what I said, didn't I?
My
I said or not?
question to Hamza is a simple one. I want Hamza to show me where in the Quran it says Muhammad is prophesied in the Old Testament or the New Testament. Show me where it says
When did I
that.
make that claim?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
When did
Do you notice what he says? I think you're hearing me now. He says, when did I make that claim? When they asked Hamza, where in the Quran does it say that Muhammad is mentioned in the Old or the New Testament? I think that's exactly what he asked. Hamza says, where did I make that claim?
to you?
My
I don't want to have us on the
question to
crowd, mate.
Hamza,
That's what I said, didn't I?
my
I said or not?
question to Hamza is a simple one. I want Hamza to show me where in the Quran it says Muhammad is prophesied in the Old Testament or the New Testament. Show me where it says
When did
that.
I make that claim?
I'm asking you.
He said, when did he make this claim? What a beautiful Muslim. And do you guys see where I just show where he make the claim? Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I have a very bad disruption in audio today. Do you see where he made the claim? Let us show you. This is what my problem is. I actually have two versions of me and don't know how to get rid of one. So that's what the problem is. So let me show you where he make the claim.
If you have smelly or
Oh,
itchy
boy.
feet or
Where did this come from?
other symptoms of toe fungus and you are using Lamisil or other popular fungus.
No, that's a weak one.
Okay, stop.
So he make the claim right in this video that Muhammad is found in Deuteronomy 18 verse 18.
Why is it a weak one?
Because it's obviously talking about the Israelites.
So who's the prophet?
It's Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. No, I'm being honest. I believe it's Jesus only because Jesus is said he's in the Torah, in the Psalms, and what's it called, and also talked about in the prophets.
How was Jesus like Moses?
And the only verse that it can only.
So he said the prophet like Moses is Muhammad. Because when they ask this clown, this one right here, this curtail, where is Muhammad prophesied in the Bible? Notice what the guy asks him in the Bible. He says Isaiah 42. And then the clown goes on to say that this clown here goes on to say that Deuteronomy 18 verse 18 speaks about Muhammad. So now the Christian is saying, no, it's about Jesus. And he says, how is Jesus like Moses? Many ways. Let's start with one of the most important ways. Jesus gave his life for his people. Moses was willing to give his life for his people. Jesus walked upon the water and commanded the sea. Moses stretched forth his rod and divided the sea. Moses used the blood of the lamb to mark the doorpost to save the children of Israel. Jesus uses his blood according to Matthew 26 verse 28 as the blood of the covenant to rescue the people from dying. Do you see these big similarities? You know, do you see these major major similarities in with Jesus? Jesus as a child was taken into Egypt and taken out of Egypt. Moses as a child, what happened to him? As a child, he was taken into Egypt in Pharaoh's house, and then he was taken out of Egypt. So much similarity, a very, very meaningful similarity. The miracles of Jesus and the miracles of Moses, spiritual things. If you ask the stupid Muslims like him, we're not talking about the regular Muslims, we're talking about these Dawa donkeys. What's the similarity between Muhammad and Jesus? Guess what they will tell you? Muhammad have a wife, Muhammad and Moses. They will tell you, Muhammad have a wife and Moses have a wife. Very physical, not spiritual things. Muhammad was a warlord and Moses fight war. Very physical, not spiritual things. They will tell you, oh, Muhammad get a law and Moses get a law. But what the clowns won't tell you, that Moses gave a law, the word of God, and Jesus came as the word of God, and the very law that Moses gave, Jesus complete that very law. Muhammad did not complete the law of Moses. Muhammad actually go against the law of Moses. Nowhere in the law of Moses is it written that you could have sex with a slave woman or with a captured woman and then sell her as a slave. Nowhere in the law of Moses is it written that if you divorce your wife, you had to make a man have sex with her before you can go back to your wife. Actually, the law of Moses says if you divorce your wife, you should not go back to her. Do you see? Muhammad goes against the law of Moses. Jesus complete the law of Moses. What Muhammad do is contrary to the God of Moses. What Jesus do is the God of Moses. So you see, the question was asked him. Let's play that back.
Yes. Where?
Yeah.
Where?
Isaiah what?
Huh?
Isaiah 46.
That's the only one I've heard. Is there
That's a very strong one. Deuteronomy 18:18.
No.
The guy asks, is Muhammad in the Bible? He said yes. But when he was asked by Bob about Muhammad, what did he say? Let's show you what he says.
I'm asking you.
When did I make that claim?
I am asking you.
He said, when did he make the claim? Bob is asking him, where does the Quran say that Muhammad is found in the Old and the New Testament? And he says, when did I make that claim? Yes, you did. You did make that claim. This is, and now he calling Bob, in one video calling Bob a mental case. And then he can't even be fair to himself. The guy asks him, the black guy asks him, is Muhammad in the Bible? The Bible is what have the Old and New Testament. He said yes. Then when Bob asked him this question, he said, when did I make this claim?
So if you want to have a
Calm down, son. Calm down. Why we need to answer all the time to your question? Why you not answer to? If you wanted to hear Hamza speak, it would appear the man behind the camera wants to debate instead. Is that what you have done before? Is that what you have done?
And that's what they do. Hamza is afraid to reveal himself. And guess what? These people behind the camera doing the heckling for him. Because this is what Islam is about. Nothing but stupidity. Muhammad is in Deuteronomy 18:18 in your dream. Muhammad is only found in the Bible as a false prophet. Where the Bible speaks about false prophet, that's where Muhammad is found. Nowhere else. Nowhere else in the Bible. Muhammad is a clown. Muhammad was a stupid, naive clown just talking nonsense from the top of his dome. Satan urinate in your ear. Satan sleep in your nose. Muhammad even believed that if you're pooping out in the desert, you need to put a saddle behind you, because Satan will climb up into your anus. Oh, man. What a beautiful prophet. Non-prophet. Man. So you see how this Hamza is. A clown.
Before, so Hamza, let me just repeat the question. The question that I've asked Hamza is, where in the Quran does it say Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and New Testament, please?
The Old and New Testament. If Hamza did not believe that Muhammad can be found in the Old and the New Testament, when the guy mentioned the word Bible, why did Hamza say yes? His curtail says Isaiah 42, and Hamza says Deuteronomy 18, verse 18.
Nice to do that. First of all, I'm not here to answer your
answer my question.
No.
Already he's running. Already he's running. He gets paid for this, by the way. I would ask for a refund if you're one of his sponsors.
Ad hominem. This is typical Bob behavior. He does not engage.
He doesn't get control. This is a tag team.
And do you see this curtail jumped in? Ad hominem. This is typical Bob's behavior. How do you see? It's a simple question. Is Muhammad, according to the Quran, is Muhammad found in the Old and the New Testament? When the guy term it another way, say, is Muhammad found in the Bible? Did Hamza answered yes. Yes, he did. And even this clown was there, and he answered yes. He actually said Isaiah 42. But we see, according to the rabbis, Isaiah 42 is a messianic prophecy. And according to the rabbis, Deuteronomy 18 verse 18 is a messianic prophecy. There are many rabbis who believe that. There are some who believe that this is talking about Joshua, but there are some who believe it is talking about the Messiah. So at the end of the day, Hamza came appealing to the logic of the Jews, but do the Jews believe, any Jews, any significant Jews, believe that Deuteronomy 18:18 is talking about Muhammad, or Isaiah 42 is talking about Muhammad? No, they don't. So why are you appealing to the Jews?
Not tagging it out, bro. I didn't see no tagging. I didn't see no tagging. I didn't see no tagging. Right. Guys, would you like to hear an answer to my question? Here's what my question is. The Muslims claim that Muhammad is prophesied in the Old and New Testament.
No, they don't.
I am asking.
Yes, they do. The clown said, no, they don't. But when he was asked, is Muhammad in the Bible? What is the Bible? The Bible consists of the Old and the New Testament. Do you see? These two clowns were asked the question, is Muhammad in the Bible? And they said yes, and actually quoted where he is, according to these clowns. But when Bob paraphrased the word Bible to mean the Old and New Testament, these two clowns say, no, he's not. I want to say, man, all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things, and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And I just want to say, Islam is nothing but nonsense. And I'm sorry to you guys, I made a mistake and then end up with two versions of myself on the stream, and found it difficult to take out one, and this is what caused the disruption in audio and all these things. So sorry about that, but I hope you guys see the deception and the inadequacy of the stupid Muslim called Hamza. So goodbye, and remember, keep it Jesus.